I know they don't feel shame, but they should.
Shame!
Shame! They are cowards who blamed us even until the very end for the Post struggles, even though they were the ones who refused to invest, to acquire and innovate and listen. They were desperate to cast blame on anyone but themselves.
Shame!
Shame! A few months ago, the Post rolled out a new slogan, riveting storytelling for all of America. That slogan is just another thing that Matt Murray and Will and Jeff do not understand, because there's nothing as riveting as sports, and there's nothing that brings all of America together like sports. This is why the loss of our desk is incredibly heartbreaking, but it's also utterly senseless. The Post is abandoning a chance to write about the last thing that unites us, and they're throwing away the reporters and editors who know how to do that better than anyone else in the country. The last thing I want to talk about is our readers. Yesterday, after I got laid off, I went with my wife to an event, and as soon as I told people I worked for the Post, they started gushing about sports. One person told me how much it meant to their parents that they'd been named All-Met. Another person asked if I'd overlapped with Boz, if I knew him. Another told me that he and his dad had collected together more than 100 Washington Post sports sections, that they still kept them. And then, only after saying all that, did they ask me what section I worked for. And I was so proud to say that I was part of that. I worked for Post Sports. Will, Jeff, Matt Murray, they've demonstrated over and over again that they don't know our readers, the people who have come to us all over the last 24 hours. They don't know what they care about, what makes them subscribe, what makes them loyal. They don't know how much Post Sports means to them, and they do not understand that there simply is no Washington Post without sports. But they will. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Hold on. Can we get one more round of applause for Molly? I am going to introduce our next speaker, who is not just my very good colleague, but a very good friend. Michael Bryce Sadler is a local reporter at the Washington Post. I have had the enormous privilege of working with Michael closely on stories over many years about people that no one would know about if not for our work. People who lost their homes, people who lost their livelihoods, people who didn't have any other recourse other than coming to the newspaper and saying, "Can you help us?" Michael is an incredible reporter, but he is also an even better person. Michael and I have been out in the city together at night during protests when we were getting shot at and tear gassed. Michael and I were also contributors to the Washington Post Pulitzer for our coverage of the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. And like every journalist out here, Michael deserved better yesterday. So please make some noise for Michael Bryce Sadler, my friend and my colleague.
Thank you, Marissa. How's everybody doing? I love the turnout. Great to see y'all. Great to see you. So my name's Michael Bryce Sadler, as she said, and I guess keep coming back to the same set of questions. How is a Metro desk supposed to earn the community's trust if you keep taking resources away from the Metro section of this paper? How are we supposed to get our jobs done properly if you cut the staff and you tell the community, we don't give a fuck about you? You deserve better.
Say it, Michael.
And they should be ashamed of themselves. We're told to do more with less, then even more with less. Write faster, publish more, make no mistakes, but the margin of error for us keeps shrinking, while for those on the 9th floor, it keeps growing. Let's be honest, a Metro staff of 12 people cannot cover the region and hold power into account properly. We need resources, not less. We need to say it loud, and we need to be clear. We can't stand for this. It's not sustainable. Please help us. Jeff, do better. Matt, do better. Will, do better. Shame on all of you.
Shame!
Thank you.
introduce our next speaker, who is a national breaking news reporter. I'd like to get another chant going, and I want all of you to participate. This is for the journalists, but it's also for the readers. It's also for the community. When I say, who makes the post, you say, we do. Who makes the post?
We do!
Who makes the post?
We do!
Who makes the post?
We do!
Welcome, Ben Brash, a national breaking news reporter, my friend, and another Post Guild leader.
Okay, just one piece of housekeeping. I know that it might be hard to hear on the sides, so I implore you, you can watch a live stream of this event on the Post Guild Instagram. So even if you're on the wings, you can still hear it right there. I just pointed at it. Excellent. Okay, also, don't lock your knees, okay? We don't need anyone falling out. So just give your knees a little bend, that's all. All right.
Stretch break with Ben.
Yeah. My name is Ben Brash, and I was a reporter on the National Breaking News team until some haircut I've never met sent me an email because some knighted dude and the richest guy since Mansa Musa decided to ruin this vaunted newspaper. I was only at the Post a short time. I got here, and 3 months later, the buyouts began. That was a publisher and 1.5, I think, executive editors ago. Does anyone remember Rob Winnett? I think it was. I remember that. But before I came here with some stops in between in Orange Grove towns and in Atlanta, I was a student in the southern part of the Pinellas County School District.
Closer. It's like you're licking an ice cream.
Licking ice cream?
Yeah,
Can we do that? Okay, great. I was a student in the southern part of the Pinellas County School District in St. Petersburg, Florida. That might ring a bell to...
Megaphone! Megaphone!
Hello? Yep. Great. That might ring a bell to any of the education reporters or Pulitzer heads out there. The St. Pete Times, and don't correct me, produced an incredible investigation into how the district, through racism and greed, let schools in my predominantly black side of town turn into failure factories that pumped out bright-eyed failure. Okay? Why am I telling you this? Well, gang, I fear that the Washington Post is now a failure factory. How can it produce quality journalism with so many gone? I'm not saying that they can't run this place without me. I'm saying that it is worse without us. And one of our very own, Lisa Gardner, won a Pulitzer for that project in 2016. And I've been intimidated over her ever since. But I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about my team, the National Breaking News team, nay, the GA team, for 3 years. Before yesterday, our emaciated team withered down to 8 reporters and 5 editors, working shifts 7 days a week from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., passing off to our hubs in Seoul and London. We're nothing now. 2 reporters, 2 editors, that's it. That's all that's left. Shame. Right. And I'll tell you, some days it was hell. Blood, carnage, body cam footage, mass shootings, hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires, hell. So much destruction. Do you know who didn't have to do any of that? Jeff Bezos and Sir Will Lewis didn't have to do a damn bit of that work. They just have to move offices when 50 of us march up there and intimidate him. Okay. But other times it was goofy stuff, and it all mattered. It seems like management doesn't agree, and personally it's hard to care what's in their hearts and how tough it is for them when their actions speak pretty damn loud. Yeah. They don't care about us. They do not care about the workers of this vaunted newspaper. No. So what did I do to a man with a hammer? I did some reporting. Did you know that Sir Will isn't an OBE? No, he's a Knight's Bachelor, which means that he isn't inducted as one of the members of the organized, with an S, Orders of Chivalry. Okay? He isn't held to chivalric rules, and boy, does it show. But gang, I have good news. The Guild gives us one thing that we gave up when we chose journalism. We can have an opinion.
Yes! Yes!
And no, it's not about civil liberties or personal freedom, whatever the hell they're talking about in those pages. My opinion is that we deserve more, and this place can give it to us, and it is not too late.
Not too late! Not too late!
And you can help by showing up for bargaining, handing out flyers, making sure we squeeze every red cent from these people that we need to be made whole while bargaining is going on. You can fight. Violence isn't the answer, but fighting is. Fight for each other, because management sure as hell won't.
That's right.
Those who remain are still our guild siblings. We still love them. They did not do this. And if you are a member, what the hell are you doing? Get up here and replace me. Because I'm not going to be here anymore. They told me my services were no longer needed. This place failed us, but we will not fail each other. Solidarity forever. Thank you.
I'd love to get a chant going of "It's not too late" with me. It's not too late.
It's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late.
It's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late.
It's not too late. Thank you guys so much. One of the best things about working at the Washington Post has always been the community. Desks that don't always work together will look out for each other. Reporters from opposite sides of the room will reach out and say, hey, do you need help with that? Do you know someone in this organization? Yeah, I've got a number. Let me give it to you. Not all news organizations are like that. I know. I have worked at a lot of them. The Post collegiality and family has been one of the most special things about working here. And the people in charge today are committed to cutting that heart out of this newspaper. When we learned that hundreds of people were going to lose their jobs, a number of desks sent emails and letters begging our owner, Jeff Bezos, to spare people. The international staff wrote a letter. The Metro staff wrote a letter. And the White House staff, which was not under threat of losing anyone, wrote a letter on behalf of us, saying they cannot do the work that they do without their colleagues in sports across the world and right here in Washington, D.C. We are so grateful and so proud to work with reporters who know the power of collaboration and community. And it is my privilege to introduce Kat Zakrzewski, White House reporter for the Washington Post.
Thank you all for being here today. Yesterday, I received a note that my job was, quote, not impacted by the layoffs. I'm here to correct the record.
Get the megaphone. Get the megaphone. Okay.
All right. I'm here to correct the record. My reporting on the White House directly relied on the sourcing and expertise of colleagues across the room, in tech, in business, in international, in sports, in Metro. When President Trump met with President Zelensky, my colleagues on the ground in Ukraine provided critical reporting. When CEOs met with Trump in the Oval Office, I worked with reporters on business and tech to find out what they said. When I found out Trump was making a surprise visit to a UFC match, my first text was to colleagues on the sports desk. Yesterday, hundreds of those colleagues were laid off. Those of us still in the empty newsroom today are at a loss for how to continue our work without them. There is a difference between necessary change and illogical cuts that leave our journalists and our readers adrift. Our leaders say they want to excel in political coverage as they cut some of the most talented political reporters on our staff. They say we will focus on areas like tech as they eliminate the vast majority of our reporters covering tech companies, AI, and online culture. They say we will own national security as our foreign bureaus are eliminated. To my friends who are laid off, I promise to fight for you. Talented reporters should not have to pay the price for poor business decisions. Thank you.
I'm going to try a little double fisting here. We lost a lot of really incredible journalists yesterday, but we didn't only lose journalists yesterday. We also lost colleagues who make the business of this place work, who make the technology of this place work, and who do the thing that these leaders claim they want us to do, make money. I would like to introduce you to one of my colleagues on the commercial side, Colin Camp. He's a production manager with Wash Post Live, our events arm, which just got eliminated yesterday in the round of cuts.
Thank you. I'm Colin Camp, Vice Chair for Unit Outreach for the Post Guild and Production Manager for Washington Post Events. When I came to the Post 4 years ago, I was excited for the opportunity to work with the very best in the industry. And that is exactly what I found in my fellow workers. As a commercial employee, I had a chance to work with immensely talented event planners and producers, production engineers, marketing professionals, and audience specialists. All positions that were impacted by the short-sighted and devastating layoffs announced yesterday. Time and time again, I've seen my colleagues punished for inexplicable mismanagement and poor decision-making from our leaders. My fellow laid-off colleagues are paying the price for terrible decision-making at the top, and those still employed are once again being set up for failure. This cycle cannot continue. That's right. My colleagues are the most talented individuals I've ever met, and Post employees in the newsroom, in engineering, in opinions, and on the commercial deserve better.
We are out here today united as Post workers. The operative word in that sentence is workers. We make the Washington Post, and we are very grateful to be supported in our fight today and in the past by workers in other industries from other parts of the News Guild and CWA, the Communications Workers of America. I'm honored now to introduce one of our allies in the fight and the creator of one of the best protest chants I've ever heard. President of the American Flight Attendants Association, Sarah Nelson.
Let's go, Sarah!
Democracy dies in the hands of Jeff Bezos. Disgusting. Disgusting. Wait, and actually, I think we need one of those. Union busting is disgusting. 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 Let me tell you something, as flight attendants, I just want to put some perspective on this. The BBB bill, I'm not going to call it what they called it. The big bullshit bill, I guess. It allocated 14 times more to ICE and prisons than it did to rebuilding the infrastructure of the aviation system that millions of people use every day. And the people in this building behind me have kept me safe throughout my 30-year career as a flight attendant. That's right. Shedding light on unsafe conditions. Calling to account Boeing to put profits over our lives. Calling to account the airlines who want to try to extract more from the American people and give you less, while taking workers' pensions, cutting our pay, and making us spend more time at work. It's the same thing in every single industry. I was looking today, what are some of the things that Jeff Bezos has said? He said he wanted to give away all of his money in his lifetime. Well, he's doing a really good job of giving away his money to Donald Trump so that he can get richer and richer. And as I said before, he does not think about real people. He is barely human. That's right. That's right. He certainly doesn't have any actual feelings. But we are here to hold him to account. Because the service that the workers at the Post does is what Americans need to keep democracy alive. It is what Americans need to keep us safe. As I said before, Jeff Bezos doesn't care because he built
I want to thank everyone who's come out to stand with us today. Every single person here, members of the media, we see you, we appreciate you, thank you for being here. Members of the public, we are so grateful for you, and we hope that this organization does right by you, but until it does, I know that all of us will keep trying. Thank you to some of our supporters who came out today, members of the New York Times Guild.
Solidarity!
Mayoral candidate Janice Lewis-George is here.
Woo! Let's go, JLP!
Members of AFSCME. And other allies and comrades who came out in the not too cold to stand with us today and to demand a better Washington Post for us all. We deserve better. You deserve better. This city deserves better. This country deserves better. The whole damn world deserves better. Thank you guys. I would love to close with one more chant of Save the Post. Make it loud. I want Jeff Bezos isn't here, but I want Will Lewis to hear it on the 9th floor where he retreated and cut off access to his workers. Save the Post. Save the Post.
Save the Post! 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 Save the Post!
If you'd like to support journalists who are both laid off and not, please submit letters through our Action Network. There are QR codes on the flyers that we've been handing out. There's more flyers up here. Come grab one. The letters demand a better Washington Post and better treatment for all of its workers. We would also ask, if you can, please donate to our laid off worker support fund. We're collecting money. It will all go to workers who have been impacted by these layoffs, both here and abroad. Every penny will go to those workers. Please help us if you can. And lastly, I would ask, please supporting good journalism. Please keep supporting good journalism. We need it now more than ever. And journalists pay the price when people cancel subscriptions or retreat from organizations that are doing their damnedest to keep this place afloat. So please, keep paying for your news, keep going to reliable sources. And sure, yeah, fire Will Lewis. Thank you guys, thank you for coming out. Save the Post.
Guys!
People already knew. Everyone was hoping to cry earlier. Michael Jackson.
People are already giving me shit on Twitter. Okay, now you both of you. Molly Hensley.
You got on the sheet. Speakers.